then university finished, and then what happened?
It was 2012. I graduated, and I had a gig right after. I worked at the Victoria Petrolia Playhouse with the Davids in Petrolia.
The Davids.
David Hogan, David Rogers, the Davids, David Squared, if you shall.
I laugh because you were like, with the Davids. Like, our whole audience knows who the Davids are.
David Hogan, David Rogers, the Davids.
So you worked there.
I worked there. We did Godspell, which was like crazy amounts of fun. And then I went from that gig to a musical version of A Midsummer Night's Dream that was like performed in parks and toured around sort of like the St. Catharines to Kingston loop. And that was crazy fun. And then it all ended. And I was like, ah! I had such a high after graduating of these gigs. And then it was sort of like nothing. And I worked at a shoe store in Toronto. I was sort of like, why have I done this to myself? This is so hard. Mental health in acting doesn't exist. Ah! So that was a tough time. And I auditioned for Stratford and was like, yeah, nope. Auditioned for things and was just sort of like nothing. I had an agent, which was helpful. And then they were going to remount Godspell. I think I did like little things in the interim there, but they were going to remount Godspell. And I ended up booking the straight play at a Factory Theatre, The Gravitational Pull of Bernice Trimble with Karen Robinson.
Yes.
And I was sort of like, I've been doing musicals, like I should probably put a straight show on my straight acting show. I hate that that's the way we describe it, but I'm so sorry. That's
a straight
my
play.
go-to.
Yeah.
A play. I should put a play on my resume as opposed to just musicals to remind people that I went to the U of Windsor for acting and I can do just that as well as the singing thing. And so in the script, I wept. And in the script was Bernice Trimble makes a potato casserole, and that's what my mom makes, which is weird.
Oh,
and
wow.
It's this mother-daughter sort of story. And my mom baked one for me as good luck, and that day that she baked it, like 3 hours later, I found out I booked it. It was one of those just like, wah! So my mom was like, which one are you going to pick? And so I ended up picking the play, and that was amazing. And it was sort of one of those, like, I saw my friends go off on tour and was like, what have I chosen?
Yeah.
Like, I picked the 2-month gig in Toronto over the, like, 6-month tour, like, with my best friends.
Yeah.
Like, have I made the worst choice ever? But then Beth Russell, the casting director at Stratford, came and saw that, and I had an audition for Stratford, like, a few weeks later, and I still didn't get in. That was still too early. That was still not my time. But it's kind of cool that, like years later, that she got to see me do that, and
So, Alexis Gordon, do you have any favorite roles that you've performed before or that you would like to perform? Dream goals, as it were?
Dream goals. Anyone who knows me just a little tiny bit knows that I'm a little bit obsessed with Audra McDonald. But in that vein, it's sort of like, what are your dream roles? Sarah in Ragtime. Bess and Porgy and Bess. It's all sort of on that very specific Audra track. I opened my rep book for auditions and was sort of looking through, and I was like, Audra has sang almost every single one. So needless to say, I was like, I'm just gonna tidy this up, and I threw a few new ones in there.
Yeah. That were
be your own person,
related.
Be your own person. Yeah.
Good for you.
You learn the hard way sometimes.
But do you?
Still learning.
Anyways. What's the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you on stage, or funniest, that you don't mind sharing with our viewers?
I adore asking this question. I am the person who blocked it from their memory because it was so traumatizing, but now I do have one that I've bookmarked as the go-to because everything else is too horrifying. Actually, we might have two. During night music, a little night music last season at the Avon Theatre, beautiful musical, gorgeous costumes. Deb Hansen made like my floral lace dreams come true. They were so stunning. They were all like flouncy and lovely, and they had trains. And we did not get to practice with those actual trains. We had rehearsal trains that were nothing like the costume.
Of course not.
We didn't get to practice with those actual trains till like tech dress. So we had like about like 3-4 chances before we were actually doing the show in front of an audience. And I made it through most of the season without falling. But my first dress that I wore when we did the overture and we waltzed, it's slippery, and the lace over top of it made it extra slippery, and I would occasionally like rip a hole through the front lace. Like my beautiful poor dresser Svetka was just always like, I'd come back and be like, sorry, and she'd be like, okay, and, like, bless that woman. But I think it was July maybe. and it was one of those moments where I stepped on it and I knew I was going down. So I don't know if
those moments when you know you're going down.
It's almost better though, because I like fell with a smile and came back up with a smile. Ben Carlson,
you Beyonce'd.
Thank you. Ben Carlson still might have my like finger marks in his arm because I was like going down, coming back up. But I had a Shakespeare school chat the day after. And they're like, what's your most embarrassing story? I was like, well, the other day I fell. And they were like, we saw that show. And I was like, that's literally my nightmare. Why? Oh, my God. And they're like, we thought you did it on purpose. And I was like, I can't tell if you're being too kind or what. Because they were like, you fell with a smile and you came back up. So we thought you were just like girly and silly and falling. I was like,
yes. Fake it till you make it.
Silly ingenue.
This is what you learn from the Alexis Gordon, is that the audience never knows. This is a very important thing that you must acknowledge. The audience has no idea when you make a mistake.
True.
Par example. Oh,
yes.
tell me
Franklin
about
Brass, though, standing in the orchestra pit, conducting, and then hearing my patella slam on the stage, looked up horrified. So if you were looking at Franklin, you knew that was wrong.
To hear more from the amazing Alexis Gordon, tune in next time on The Blacktor Studio. Well, Alexis Gordon, do you have any favorite roles that you've performed or that you would like to perform? Dream goals, I call them.
Hashtag dream goals. Grolls. Caffeine.
Let's say that again.
Dream rolls.
No, dream goals.
Oh, I thought you said dream
We're going to do this one more time. Ready?
Dream.
No, I get to start at the beginning.
Oh. Okay.
That's going to be a blooper. It's one of the things that I put on the screen.
Dream rolls.